Hello everyone, and welcome to this overview of PMCTrack's functionality for an institutional representative, or IR. An IR's main task in PMCTrack is to complete surveys which SSPs send out when they're preparing to create a breeding and transfer plan with the PMC or PMC adjunct. Responding to these surveys promptly is important. This way, your facility's voice is heard. You'll always receive an email when there are new survey tasks to complete, but you're always welcome to log into the system to see basic information about the SSPs you're responsible for. To start with the general orientation, after you log in, you'll get to your dashboard by selecting the appropriate role from the green left-hand menu. Today, we will be viewing an IR dashboard for a test species. You can adjust the size of your dashboard by clicking on the arrow at the bottom, which will either close or open the green panel to the left. You can also adjust the size of your font on screen by zooming in and out in your browser, typically hitting Control and the plus or minus keys, or using the scroll bar on your mouse. Your main information will be under the menu link Dashboard. However, you can also access all of your current and historical data restricted to the role you have selected in the Report section. Let's take a look at the PMC Management History Report. You can sort reports by clicking on the column headers. You can use the search bar at the top to search throughout the report. Reports can be exported using the Export button. Just click on it, and the report will download. And if you would like additional information about the report, you can click on the question mark next to the Export button for the help content. When you have tasks associated with surveys, either setting them up or taking them, you'll see a red number near the menu item. The task menu will include all tasks you have across all of your roles, so you'll always know what is due if you have many roles within the SSP system. You may have both wants and needs and outcome surveys depending on which surveys the SSP coordinator has launched, and if you have animals at your facility with recommendations which did not occur in the time period since the last plan. The task table will have the program name, the task either wants and needs or outcomes, the survey due date, and the action you need to take. As the survey due date approaches, you will receive email reminders if you have not already taken the survey. Now, to respond to the survey, either wants and needs or outcomes, just click on the appropriate link and you can start the survey and finish it later if you need to gather more information to thoroughly answer the questions. Your answers should save in the system and be there when you log in to complete the survey. First, we'll take a look at the wants and needs survey and then the outcome survey. After you click on the link, proceed through each section header, which will turn green once it's completed. The first section has instructions on how to respond to the survey, along with the survey type and survey due date. The Animal by Animal Questions section displays a table with all of the living animals at your facility based on the updated stubbook that was uploaded into PMCTrack and detailed questions for each individual. Use the scroll bar to see and answer the 4 standard questions. The SSP coordinator can add an additional 2 questions. to the table that you may need to answer, so make sure you scroll through the entire table. The standard questions have default answers, but if you need to change them to reflect the animal's current state or the preferences of your facility, you can do so. But note, you'll also be asked to provide a text response for more information. If animals are missing, then you can edit the table by clicking Add an Animal. After you are finished adjusting the table, then click Save Changes. The next few sections have general questions about your facility's priorities for the species, exhibit, breeding, education, or other, their capacity to complete breeding and transfer recommendations in the upcoming planning cycle, and their short to long-term plans for the species. Additionally, you could have additional questions from the SSP coordinator. Once you are finished, then you can preview a PDF version of the survey and return to correct any errors if needed. You can also download the PDF before you start the survey to refer to as you gather information to complete your responses accurately. Finally, click Submit to complete the survey. If it is grayed out, then that means you still have sections to complete, such as these sections in red. After you finish your wants and needs surveys, return to your task page to see if you have any outcome surveys to complete. You will only receive an outcome survey if an animal at your facility has breeding and/or transfer recommendations that did not occur as requested in the last plan. You may have multiple outcome surveys to complete, but these are relatively quick to fill out. These outcome surveys are important because they help the SSP coordinator and PMC know why previous recommendations did not work out. We're also trying to gather a broader picture across the AZA community of patterns and recommendation fulfillment, so your response is important. Now, let's take a look at a breed WIF outcome survey. The first section will be an overview of the animal, its original recommendation, and why the recommendation is unfulfilled. After reviewing the recommendation, then you can select the reasons that best apply to the situation. The reasons are broken up into categories depending on the recommendation type. Please review each reason to identify the one that most closely matches your animal's circumstance. You have the option to select a secondary reason and a text box to provide more context if desired. Just like with the Wants and Needs survey, the SSP coordinator can add additional questions. If you skip this section, you will not be able to submit the survey. This information is vital and will help the SSP coordinator make more informed decisions regarding recommendations for this upcoming breeding and transfer plan. Once you are finished, you can preview a PDF version of the survey and return to correct any errors if needed. Finally, click Submit to complete the survey. Again, if it is grayed out, this means you still have sections to complete, such as these sections in red. For both surveys, know that providing accurate information is critical to the SSP and the PMC preparing an effective breeding and transfer plan. If you don't know the answer to a question, please ask others at your facility to see if they may have a response. If you need assistance while taking the survey, then click on the help icons. But if you are still having difficulties, then email the SSP coordinator and/or PMCTrack at lpzoo.org for assistance. Your SSP coordinator can complete the survey for you, and the staff behind the PMCTrack email can walk you through how to take the survey. On their dashboard, your institutional liaison is able to view whether you have responded to the surveys or not. The more complete an SSP surveys are, the better their breeding and transfer plan will be. Now, to focus in on your dashboard. The first section is the program planning overview for your species. This section will indicate the planning status of the SSP. You will either see the planning meeting date, or if your SSP is not actively planning, then you will see the date of the last breeding and transfer plan. Regardless of the planning status, you will always see the contact information and AZA accountability deadlines for your SSP coordinator and stub bookkeeper. Their emails are hyperlinked for quick communication if you have any questions. The survey status for your species section will have pertinent information regarding the collection of information for the animals at your facility. Depending on whether the SSP is actively planning or not, you will see a slightly different message guiding you on how to make sure your facility's perspective is communicated to the SSP, such as if they are using PMCTrack surveys or not, and, if relevant, how complete your facility's surveys are. This version of the dashboard shows that the surveys are 0% complete. So you can either click on the task link here, or you can go to the task page here to complete your surveys and get them to 100%. In general, PMCTrack will email you when you have surveys to take, but this section can be a nice reminder of where an SSP is in the process of setting up surveys or planning. The survey response for your species section will only appear on your dashboard if your SSP is actively planning and using PMCTrack for surveys. If you have not completed the survey yet, then you will see 3 links for the wants and needs and outcome survey reports. This way, you can view your historic survey responses. If you have completed your PMCTrack survey, then you will be able to view a PDF version of your survey responses for this upcoming planning meeting. Don't forget, if you forget how to do something, you can access the help content for each section using the green question mark icons at the end of each header. So that's it for PMCTrack's functionality for an institutional representative. If you have any questions, please email us at pmctrack@lpzoo.org. Thank you.